on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey. Brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. By your local Ford dealers. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Cellular. The official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular. Built for us. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit midamericanenergy.com for electrical safety tips. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Midwest One, small enough to care, big enough to deliver. Member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome in to a toasty Hyatt Regency, the Iowa River Landing, and of course we're in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar for Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey. Coach will be here shortly. Owen Freeman, star Hawkeye post forward center, will join us in a few minutes as well to discuss what's been going on with Iowa basketball. It's been a while since the Hawks have lost 3 in a row. Until now, a West Coast swing saw Iowa get knocked sideways by Southern Cal and UCLA, and then came Tuesday night here in Iowa City when the Minnesota Golden Gophers ended a 6-game losing streak to the Hawks, holding Iowa to a season-low 67 points, winning by 5, 72-67. Minnesota's first win in Carver Hawkeye Arena since 2015. And for one of the few times, at least as far as a key to that game, one of the few times this year, scoring guard Josh Dix, he got off only 5 shots, making 1. And the Hawkeyes didn't make a 3 in the first half. When's the last time that happened? When Iowa, known for its adept three-point shooting, didn't make one in either in any 20-minute session. But that happened in the first half. You have nights like that. The Hawks finished 3 of 21 from distance, and they had entered the game averaging 11 threes a contest. Scoring's not been a problem, though, even despite that a cold spell. But defense and rebounding have been in the end, and they go hand to glove. The Hawkeyes depend on their 1-2-2 full-court press to force turnovers. But if they're not making shots or getting offensive rebounds for putbacks, they're definitely at a disadvantage. And hopefully that changes tomorrow night when a pressing Penn State Nittany Lion bunch comes to Carver. The Hawks have won 4 in a row from the Nittany Lions. Both teams are 3-5 in Big Ten play. Penn State opened the season with 12 wins, including a victory over Purdue, and 4 of its 5 conference losses have come by 8 points or less. So Coach Mike Rhodes has done a phenomenal job with that program since arriving under some duress a couple years back. Penn State features great balance, 6 players average in double figures, led by all Big Ten selection, all Big Ten. He's an All-American in my view. Ace Baldwin, he's been spectacular again this season. 15 points a game. He's second in the Big Ten in assists and third in steals. So he gets it done at both ends of the floor. Conan Niederhauser averages a team best 6.5 rebounds and 12 points. Zach Hicks, remember him from a year ago. He's drained a Big Ten best 48 threes. The same as Iowa's Peyton Sanford. Game time is 8 o'clock here on the Hawkeye Radio Network, 7 o'clock for our pregame coverage. And it was good to listen to Coach Reyna and Rob Brooks in the Hawkeye women's update on my way in tonight. Congratulations to the Hawks, an impressive win yesterday over Washington that ended a 5-game skid for the women. So hopefully the Hawks get back on track tomorrow night. With that, I welcome in my broadcast partner, Bobby Hansen. And Bobby, I don't know what you can add to the opening monologue, but basketball, defense and rebounding is certainly integral, but you got to make shots if you're going to win, and it just didn't happen for the Hawks, and rarely have we seen that the other night.
No, exactly. The Minnesota game, Gary, it took Seydou Traoré at about 12.5-minute mark of the second half to finally get a three-point to drop for the Hawkeyes. They ended up with 3 of those, I believe, 3 of 21, and that's not going to happen again, put it that way. But the Hawks, they didn't turn it over too much, 7 times, had 19 assists. But Minnesota just kind of controlled the tempo of the game. The defense was good for the Hawkeyes early in that game, but when the shots don't drop, man, you just got to keep grinding. You got to keep rebounding the basketball. Dawson Garcia, he's a 6th-year guy. He's a heck of a player for Minnesota, and they got a couple of new guys in there too. Mike Mitchell Jr., the little guard, he controlled it, but Udokale was impressive for me. He got to the free throw line 11 times. He's kind of a power point guard, 6'5", 6'6", whatever Femi is. Udokale, they got a nice team. I mean, they were coming off a high, Gary, where that shot, half-court shot by Dawson Garcia to beat Michigan the game before they played the Hawkeyes. We were out in Los Angeles. Heading to dinner, watching that intently, the Michigan game on the network there, and when that dropped, it's like, okay, these guys are going to have confidence coming in here. You got to take it away. So, move on is the challenge now for the Hawkeyes, and you got a tough team coming with Penn State. I've always liked Ace Baldwin, as you mentioned. He's playing like an All-American. Right now, the lefty, a little point guard. He's grad transfer, came with Mike Rhodes from Virginia Commonwealth, along with Nick Kern. So they know the system. They know how they want to play. Fran will explain, the unique defense that they play. They extend you out. You can't turn it over against these guys here. They'll be running down the other end with layups.
They force 16 turnovers a game. Now, Iowa has done a great job of taking care of the ball, one of the best in the country, by the way. And we talk often about the Hawks, still the number one scoring team in the Big Ten at 87, 88 points a game. Penn State's putting up 85 a game. So this could be a track meet tomorrow night, Bobby. Well, let's hope not.
Yeah, let's get it going. We'll be in the friendly confines, the warm confines of Carver Hawkeye Arena, and we all love up and down basketball. And, again, don't turn it over, rebound the ball, and make some shots.
A lot of basketball left indeed. Nittany Lions are coming off an 80-72 win over Rutgers Monday night. They look to take that momentum into Carver Hawkeye Arena, and so we'd love to see a great crowd out there tomorrow night to rally the Hawks to a victory and get rid of this 3-game winning streak. Penn State with great balance, but the Hawks have great balance too. Almost all 5 starters are averaging in double figures. We're at the Hyatt Regency, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Come on out any week and watch the show live. We'd love to have you out here because other than watching Bobby and I, of course, 2 extremely professional and talented on-air broadcasters in action hosting Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffrey, the Hyatt Regency offers an extended happy hour, including $1 wings. Our engineer-producer, Corey Sheets, is all over those $1 wings. $3 drafts and domestics, and $5 house wines. Come on down to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar and join us for a great evening of Iowa basketball. A couple ways you can reach us if you can't come on in live and ask your question to Coach directly. There's a number of ways you can reach us on the Hawkeye Radio Network. First off, on Twitter, it's at Gary Dolphin. If you have a question or a comment, just tweet us at Gary Dolphin or at Iowa_Learfield or hashtag Hawk Talk. On Facebook, you can reach us at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. U.S. Cellular, one of our sponsors, has a text line you can reach us on this year. That's been a nice addition. 319-853-8344. 319-853-8344. Or email us your question, hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. So no excuses. You got a question or a comment for Fran on Hawk Talk, you can reach us a variety of ways. As a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes, U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us. We'll step out, take our first break from the Hyatt Regency Watermill Kitchen and Bar in the Iowa River Landing here in Coralville. When we come back, we've got Hawkeye star forward Owen Freeman putting a headset on to talk about what happened the other night and what he looks forward to tomorrow night. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield and the Hyatt Regency.
Conference play is here, and you could be there in style with the Iowa Lottery. Play the new Nines in a Line scratch ticket for your chance to win cash, or see the Iowa women's basketball team take on UCLA in February. Enter any non-winning scratch ticket in the VIP club today for a chance to win exclusive seats with complimentary food and beverage service, parking, and $500 in spending money. Women's basketball, men's wrestling. It's your choice in the prize zone. Check out ialottery.com/VIP for details and play today.
Woohoo! Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with these local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, located in the Des Moines area. Carr Law, Community Choice Credit Union, and Royal Flooring. Facing a criminal charge or complicated family law situation, Carr Law Firm has the trial experts you need. As experienced trial attorneys, we understand how much is on the line. Go to carlawiowa.com for a free consultation. That's Carr with 2 R's, lawiowa.com.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
I'm Nick Jackson. I play linebacker here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, I drop in coverage.
3rd down 11. Straight back to pass is Sullivan. He's running for his life. Down he goes. That's a loss of another 6. Nick Jackson.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency and Hawk Talk. The Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Fran will join us here shortly. Iowa Penn State tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Another one of those later starting games at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock here for the coverage, pregame coverage with Bobby and yours truly, Gary Dolphin. Our engineer producer, as always, is Corey Sheets. And thanks for joining us on the Hawkeye Radio Network. There are some Big Ten games tonight that we'll keep track of and keep you updated with the U.S. Bank scoreboard a little bit later on. Maryland is at 17th ranked Illinois, and that starts at 8 o'clock. Top 25 games include Memphis hosting Wichita State. Right now, let's welcome in Owen Freeman, Iowa star forward / center / three-point shooter from the wing. He can do it all, and he's had such a spectacular start to his career at Iowa. Big Ten freshman of the year, sixth man. You could call him that, sixth man of the year a year ago. But, man, do we need him along with the rest of the Hawks going forward. And Owen's having a terrific year. And first off, thanks for coming out on a wintry Thursday night, bud.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
You know, I know you're way southeast of us in Moline.
Yeah.
So I know it's 70 there in Moline tonight. Maybe not quite.
Yeah,
but
beautiful beaches, you know.
Along the Mississippi.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're a Chicago Bear fan.
Big time.
Well, you got to love the hire with Ben Johnson.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna win a lot of games.
I've heard that before from Bear fans, but you know, hopefully they got it right this time.
Yeah,
with
they did. They did.
The McCaffrey family. They're certainly, $13 million a year for Ben Johnson. They're certainly not miserly as they've been predicted to be in the past.
Definitely not.
And I know we just got back from Los Angeles a week ago. You're a big Caleb Williams fan.
Oh my gosh! When I saw he was at the Wisconsin game, I was a little upset. I was hoping he was going to come to our game, but because he popped out for that one. But yeah, no, huge Caleb Williams fan.
The Wisconsin game at the Kohl Center?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know he was there.
Because USC played Wisconsin right after.
Oh, the USC-Wisconsin game. Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. We don't care about that. But he is a heck of a quarterback.
Very good.
What'd you think of L.A.? Was that the first time out there?
It was my first time out there. I loved it.
Yeah.
Kind of got a little free time, and I was taking a little e-bike around, and Beverly Hills is the nicest place I've ever been to.
You wandered around in Westwood and Beverly Hills.
Exactly.
It's totally different than that.
Oh my gosh.
Downtown LA.
Yeah. Made my way to Rodeo. Unbelievable.
You were some of that NIL.
Oh, wait a minute. you were on a bike?
E-bike, yep.
E-bike?
Yeah.
6'10".
Yeah.
On an e-bike.
It's normal out there.
You kind of well, I suppose. I mean, you didn't make it to Santa Monica or Malibu Beach?
No, not that far.
That's a little far for an e-bike. We had a game
running up my bill there.
Yeah, my goodness. Well, hey, Owen Freeman having a terrific year again. So what happened the other night? What's going on with this 3-game skid that we're not used to seeing with Iowa from a player's perspective?
Yeah, obviously those 3 games didn't go the way we wanted to, and we really felt that we had the game plan and had an opportunity to win those 3 games. But I really think that they're just learning opportunities. That's something Coach really emphasizes, and they're games that we're going to learn from and move on forward. If anything, it's brought our group closer together because if everything's perfect, then there's nothing to work on. So we've done nothing but get closer and build that connection between all of us.
And you need that tomorrow night and going forward. There's a lot of basketball left, and that's not a cop-out on a 3-game losing streak. But, you saw what the Hawkeye women did yesterday after losing 5 in a row. And now they look at the schedule and say, hey, we got a dozen to 13, 14 games remaining, and then the Big Ten tournament. Mm-hmm. So, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly. I feel like every game that we play, we have an opportunity to win. And that's our mindset going forward.
Back to L.A. USC game kind of got away there, and then you had some tough practices. Mm-hmm. We were able to go watch them, but it didn't carry over to UCLA. Is that disappointing, frustrating? It's on you guys.
Just because I know and the whole team knows that we didn't play the way that we normally do, and obviously I didn't think that we played as well as we normally do. So that was frustrating, but obviously like Coach says, they're learning opportunities, and we built on that, and we'll just move forward.
The rebounding has been an issue. You're the big guy in the middle there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fighting off all these other big guys. So emphasis has been on blocking out, tag your guy, and go and retrieve the basketball.
100%. Coaches have really emphasized that through practice these past couple of days, and that's something that we're really going to lock in on and hone in on, and we're going to do a lot better than what we've been doing for sure.
Offensive rebounds, if you can get putbacks, that allows you to set up the 1-2-2. And I'm watching Seydou Traore, and I just love that kid at the front of that press because he can do so many things with his athleticism. But if you're not getting the putbacks and you're not getting the rebounds, it's hard to get that press set. Yeah,
definitely. Seydou's really great at that. At the top of our 1-2-2, and we want to get those extra opportunities, so then we can force some more chaos and force some more turnovers to get us to get our transition game going.
It seemed like that sprained ankle he had really set him back. You don't know with a sprained ankle, is it one day or is it a 1 month? And he sprained it really good. I mean, he rolled it over good.
Yeah.
So don't you think he was making good progress of blending in with the team, and then a little setback?
100%. And obviously, like that setback, he would have been able to, kind of still gel with the guys during those games, and to kind of just be thrown in during Big Ten play. I mean, obviously it's a little rough, but I feel like he's adjusted great, and you're starting to see him just go out there and do his thing.
The other one, Drew Thelwell.
He
acclimated himself right into the team right
very
there.
Well.
Love
very
that kid's energy.
Oh, yeah. Just a big ball energy, whether that's on the court or off the court. And he's just a guy you just love to be around.
Loves life.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Owen Freeman averaging 17 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 block shots a game, shooting 65% from the field. You're well balanced. You're fighting your tail off in the middle, undersized oftentimes, especially when the teams we've been seeing are throwing not one but two 6'10" or 7-footers at you. Where are you better? How are you better mentally or physically from a year ago when you had a spectacular breakout season freshman year?
Yeah, obviously I put a lot of work in the weight room and in my skills. I feel like I've been able to kind of showcase my moves off the dribble, and obviously becoming more and more comfortable with that jump shot. I've been able to kind of step out and hit a couple, and then obviously be able to make some moves and get to the rim and set my teammates up. So just the confidence that I have and the abilities God's blessed me with, and just going out there and knowing He has a plan, and just trusting in that.
Tell us about your opponent tomorrow night individually, Yannick Conan Niederhauser. He's 7 feet 250. There aren't many guys bigger than you, but
no.
7 feet 250's got you by a few pounds and an inch or two.
Yeah.
Averaging 12 and 6. He's logging 25 minutes a game. He's a stud.
Oh, he's a great player. And obviously we played him last year when he was at Northern Illinois. So yeah, I'm sure he's looking in here, looking to come back and make some noise. But coach is going to get us right with the game plan, and great player. But we just got to stick to what we're doing.
What's the tape tell you about Ace Baldwin? I mean, the guy he's spectacular.
He's elite. Just the way he kind of impacts the game offensively and defensively. The way he's kind of able to make steals, and even when you think he's dead behind the guy, he's going to be able to back tap or somehow get his hand on a ball. And just a great player and a great floor general for sure.
All right, you got a baker's dozen left games before the Big Ten tournament. What happens starting tomorrow night?
The Hawks get hot.
Hawks get hot.
I like it.
That'll be on a T-shirt.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the end of Owen says Hawks get hot. I like that.
Oh yeah.
The food here is hot and delicious and great, as you know. You've been here before. Can't thank you enough for coming out, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Night. Good
I
to see you
appreciate it,
tomorrow
guys.
night.
Good job, Owen.
Owen Freeman.
Enjoy dinner now.
Thank you.
Yes. You've earned it. Hawkeye forward, star forward, all Big Ten. Owen Freeman, not only all Big Ten, but to us, he's all world. He's been such a spectacular find for Coach McCaffrey and the Hawkeyes, and he has delivered. And we're delivering on Hawk Talk for the next hour and 15-plus minutes. Coach will join us shortly. Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield knows you're here for every memorable moment, every fast break, every three-pointer, and every game-winning play. Wellmark is here for every moment, too, with trusted health care coverage you can count on all season long. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/hoops. Wellmark.com/hoops. Wellmark, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, a proud supporter of Iowa Hawkeye basketball. And throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk series, Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. Thank you to Iowa's corn farmers who lead the nation in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org, iowacorn.org, and learn how corn grows Iowa. Back with more Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency Watermill Kitchen and Bar right after this from Learfield.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing US Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online and we'll help set your phone to US Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
I'm Wyatt Black, defensive line, Iowa. On the field, I take on double teams, stop the run, and sack the quarterback.
Sullivan now runs for his life, and he's obliterated by Y.A. Black. Here's the snap, the spot.
Yes,
and it's blocked it. Kick is back to the line of scrimmage.
Don't touch the ball.
Hawks get it back. Y.A. Black, that man, what a momentum shift there.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
We're back on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. You can watch the show live every week. We thank you for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. But each week, they offer an extended happy hour, including $1 wings, $3 drafts and domestics, and $5 house wines. Come on down to Watermill Kitchen and Bar and join us for a great evening of Iowa basketball. Coach McCaffrey is with us now. I'm Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen. All right, let's get the tough stuff out of the way first. Eagles or the Commanders? I can never get. I know what an Eagle fan you are, but
I would say this:
they're at home.
The Eagles are going to win that game.
Okay.
Quarterback from the Commanders is pretty good. You might have noticed that.
Yeah, he has. Jalen has.
That guy is special. You know, when you follow the sport, whether it be the NBA, MLB, NFL, over the years, you watch guys come into the league, and you know it when you see it, right?
Right away.
That dude's different.
You've done enough scouting, you know.
Yeah, that dude's different. But I also felt the same way about Hurts. When I watched him in college, and then I watched him come in. I remember when they drafted him, I was talking to my brother who covers the Eagles, and I said, this guy's the real deal. Because at the time, they were like, I don't know, they still thought Carson Wentz was the guy. And
he wasn't bad.
He was great until he got hurt. And he was never the same after that. And I just feel bad for guys when that happens. I mean, he was getting ready to be the NFL MVP. And he was just never the same after he hurt his knee. And, Hurts has... First of all, you got to spend a lot of money to get a guy like Barkley, and the Giants did, and the Eagles did, and he's probably the MVP. They seem to always want to give it to a quarterback, and they might because there's a couple of good options. But Barkley, I haven't seen it. I said this when he came into Kinnick. And I said, and he played an unbelievable game. You
saw him high hurdle. You saw him high hurdle the guy on the sideline for another 10, 12 yards.
The only other time that I've seen that live, I saw Tony Dorsett play in college, and I said, okay. He had 276 yards that day that I was at the game, and I said, okay, Barkley that's another Tony Dorsett. They're NFL Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about the Eagles is, the best thing about the team is their defense.
Question.
So the bottom line is, you get to playoff football, you can't turn the ball over.
For sure.
You turn the ball over, you got a good shot to lose.
Fran, how far down the road is D.C. from Philadelphia?
2.5.
Okay. Somebody asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. Ask Fran.
Well, you know what's interesting, Bobby? I said this to Dolph the other night. The owner of the Commanders owns the 76ers.
Yeah.
So, he's got a big presence in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Josh Harris does.
And building a sports complex.
Well, he's
maybe?
also, they're going to build that, but they're also going to get a WNBA team.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I was actually involved with a group a few years ago. They were trying to get a WNBA team. There's a buddy of mine wanted to do it, and he spoke to the commissioner, and they were close. But I think they prefer that those teams be owned by the same NBA. They're affiliated with the NBA. So same owner, you know, build your facilities, play at the same arena. He was talking about playing it somewhere else. And no. We want an NBA atmosphere at the WNBA games. And this was before Caitlin, you know, because you didn't have that. You know, I mean, nobody went. Nobody paid attention to it.
And the NBA teams were kind of bankrolling.
The NBA teams subsidized it. And it's the only reason they are still in business. Now, it's an incredibly popular, profit-making venture because of her. And, you know, it's great for the cities, for the other players.
It's going to expand a lot.
Yeah, it just, you know, it's been interesting to watch because were they in business for like 25 or 30 years, losing money? You know, businesses don't lose money for 30 years; they go out of business. But you know, they have, you know, I think they're in a much better place now, and they have, you know, the most marketable female basketball player ever, the best player ever. That always helps. You know, you lived through it with Michael. I mean, you literally lived through it. We all watched it.
Got through it.
You lived through it. I mean, you know, I remember when I was a kid, when I was like, you know, when I'm talking about 5, 6 years old, it was Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. But you could walk up to the ticket window and buy a ticket for the Sixers Celtics game and sit 10 rows from the court. And you're talking about two of the greatest to ever play. And it started changing little by little. Dr. J, okay, he was the first one. Now he goes on the road and everything's packed. Sixers come to town. You know, they had 7,200 one night, and the next night they have 19,000 because Dr. J was there. Then it was Magic and Bird. Then it was Michael and the Dream Team. And now every franchise is owned by a billionaire, worth $3 to $5 billion, and TV numbers are through the roof. You got people in China watching the NBA religiously. You know, Yao Ming obviously helped that, but it's been interesting to watch.
Yeah, it is an international game for sure.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Philadelphia. I've often wondered, educate us Midwesterners, what's been the rift or the rub between Washington and Philadelphia?
Well, there's more of a rift. When you talk about rift, there's more of a rift between New York and Philly and Boston and Philly than there is Washington.
Okay.
The rift that you're referring to is Eagles-Redskins.
Ah, gotcha.
Now it's Eagles-Commanders, obviously.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, the sort of quote-unquote hatred was Sixers-Celtics, and it was Phillies-Mets, you know,
that I
Sixers, Knicks.
Okay.
Because, I mean, New York's 90 miles away. I mean, Philly to New York is about, you know, from here to Des Moines.
Good point.
You know, and
is there any separation, or is it just houses and malls the whole way?
Well, it's interesting because you have South Jersey and you have North Jersey. South Jersey is like an extension of Philly. North Jersey is an extension of New York. Central Jersey, where Rutgers is more central, you know, Jersey has a presence. I mean, you have the Jersey Shore. You know, you have Central Jersey where Rutgers is. And North Jersey, you know, a lot of people live in North Jersey and commute to New York. A lot of people live in South Jersey, commute to Philadelphia. That's where there's a practice facility. Sixers practice facility, I think, is in Camden, which is right across the Schuylkill River. So like a lot of the professional athletes in Philadelphia live in South Jersey because of its proximity to where the stadiums are. The stadiums are in South Philly, which is right across the bridge. So literally just across the bridge and you're in Jersey.
We drive by it, don't we, when we come off the airport? There,
yeah.
Play Penn
We
State.
do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some Hawkeye basketball. I'm glad you clarified that because, we in the Midwest would think, boy, Philadelphia and Washington or Philadelphia and New York. I knew there was the New York City-Philly rift all the way back to Luke Jackson's days.
Luke Jackson.
Hal Greer.
Wally Jones.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Chet Walker.
Oh, man. What great names.
Yeah.
All right. So, in some circles, the world is ending. The Hawks have lost 3 in a row. What's your answer to that?
I thought we played really well at times in those games. The UCLA game, we didn't play well. But, we were a little bit sideways in the first half against USC with our shot selection. But we hung in there, made a really good run, cut it to 5. The other night, Sadu makes those 2 free throws. It's 1.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get down 17-19. You can get down 7-9, 11. We came back other games.
1 possession.
We came back other games and won. It's just, this league is brutal. It's brutal. Every team is really good. I could get into a lot more specifics with regard to how some teams are constructed versus other teams, but that's a waste of time. But
that's not going to change.
No, our kids are battling, and we had I thought the other night we hung in there. You shoot 3 for 21 from 3, you're going to have a hard time winning. But we still were right there to win the game. It shows you how hard they played and how much they move and share the ball.
Fran, I forgot to ask you after the game, what's the update on the cheerleader, the guy?
He's fine.
Oh, that's so good.
That's good.
He's fine. I mean, I checked on him first thing. He landed more on his shoulder and his head. Not that that's a good thing, but I think everybody thought that he landed on his neck and broke his neck. I mean, the people that watched it, like I talked to Kirk Spiro, he was looking right at it when it happened. And then, of course, it didn't look like you could feel his lower body. And you're just praying to God that that's not the case for this young guy. So he got a concussion, and his shoulder's a little messed up, but he's got all of his extremities. He was in the hospital overnight, was sent home the next day.
And he's probably lucky that he's right across the street once again.
That helped. The EMTs being there,
there.
that helped. Brad Floyd was on it.
Yep.
I mean, he sprinted, and
Dr.
Markinson was there, and we have, in this town, you can't walk 5 feet without bumping into a doctor.
Yeah.
Remember what happened a couple of years ago with Stan Goldstein from Maryland?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if that happened at Target, he's not with us any longer.
Or on an airplane.
On an airplane.
Yeah, what do you do?
But they were on it right away, got him to the hospital, which is next door, and he texted me the other day, wants to get together, we go down and play Maryland. Big basketball guy. Huge basketball guy.
And an Iowa fan now.
Very much. Still a Terp fan first.
Still, yeah.
But,
well, we can understand that.
Yeah.
Bring him another hoodie.
Exactly.
Another hoodie. Coach, before we take a break, Rick is on Twitter. Coach, fans are frustrated. I'm sure you and your team are as well. How do you inspire and motivate during challenging times? He says challenging slumps. Go Hawks. So your message to your players
very positive.
Hasn't changed.
The energy level's there. The concentration is there. You heard Owen say it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we constructively criticize, games and help the guys get better and stay positive.
More with Coach McCaffrey on Hawk Talk here live from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar in just a minute. University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you. They were there for the cheerleader the other night at Iowa at the Carver Hawkeye Arena, and they're here for you no matter what or where you are in the state. Changing medicine and changing lives for all of Iowa and beyond. Visit uihealthcare.org. If you're looking for a place to spend your next lunch break, come enjoy the Watermill Kitchen and Bar's delicious weekday lunch specials. They feature a pick 2 for $12. Pick 2, pick any 2 items for $12. Select from refreshing salads, flavorful sandwiches, or comforting soups to build a healthy and quick lunch. All for a great deal. Check it out at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar every weekday from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. We're at the Watermill right now. Come on out and join us. We're here until 8:30 tonight. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with these local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, located in the Des Moines area. Car Law, Community Choice Credit Union, and Royal Flooring. At Community Choice, it's simply a mortgage. No hoops that jump through or limbo sticks to go under. Just a straight, easy path from point A to point B. It takes less than 60 seconds to get started at unpackyourmortgage.com. Loan approval subject to credit score and analysis. See Credit Union for details. Equal opportunity lender.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffrey, live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're here until 8:30. Come on out and join us if you're in the neighborhood. Otherwise, we're here each and every week with Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey. Bobby Hansen, I'm Gary Dolphin. And we're talking about Iowa Penn State tomorrow night. Fran, Penn State comes to town off a win over Rutgers the other night, 80-72. And Iowa's really owned the Nittany Lions for the last 20 years inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. How do you continue that tomorrow night? This is a well-balanced Penn State team, Fran.
You don't play teams very often who have 6 guys averaging double figures. So they got a lot of weapons. They're really quick. They're really fast. They play a unique style. They press all over the place. They have unbelievable quickness. Ace Baldwin is as good as any player in college basketball. Really good player. They have a terrific shooter in Zach Hicks. I mean, Kern is a driver. I mean, they have Niederhauser in the middle. They have so many guys that can hurt you offensively, but they really affect the game with their defense. they're a team that is capable of creating anywhere from 24 to 30 points off your turnovers if you don't take care of the ball. Because they're stealing the ball, they're poking at it, they're flicking you, they're trapping you, they're running and jumping you. And that's just how they play. That's their style. Mike does a really good job with that. I give him a lot of credit for that. And they've got some depth. So, got to be ready. When we beat them here last year, we handled the pressure well. We lost to them up there. We were up 7 with 6 minutes to go and didn't win. But we turned the ball over a few times late. They hit some threes late. But if you turn the ball over against them, you have a hard time beating them.
Fran, I saw the Big Ten story on Ace Baldwin. Incredible story on how Mike connected to him after losing his father. And he's got that tattoo on him there. But talk a little more about Ace Baldwin, where he came from.
Well, he came from VCU with Mike. He was, I don't know this for sure, but he might have been the player of the year in the Atlantic 10. If he wasn't, he was certainly first team all conference. But he was that good. Mike had a good run there at VCU. And Mike and I served together on the NCAA Ethics Coalition for a number of years, so I got to know him. Really good guy. Phil Martelli's son, Jimmy, is on staff there. As you know, that program has had some success, but it was always kind of a football school, and Mike's done a really good job of energizing that community for basketball, and I think a lot of it has to do with style of play. And how they compete and how he gets them to play hard. Now, Eddie DeChellis had a great run there. Great run. And he's another dear friend. But they're a team that challenges you in a lot of different ways. Coming at you. And they're coming at you on offense, too. Like, they're pushing it down the floor. They're attacking the rim, shooting threes. But really, just a team that's in attack mode all the time.
Fran, you mentioned 6 guys in double figures. Tell us about their 7-foot, 250-pound center, Conan Niederhauser. He brings a lot to the table.
Well, we played against him last year. He was at Northern Illinois. He transferred there.
Mm-hmm.
Really a good fit for the other pieces that they have. He's a shot blocker. He's a good athlete. He can score. But fits really well. He's unselfish. But he's really impacted the game. It gives them a different component. Now, last year they had to get Wahab, who hurt us up there in particular. We played against him when he was at Maryland. He went to Maryland, then he went to Georgetown, then he ended up at Penn State.
Big kid, yeah.
Big wide body. He really hurt us in the game up there last year. But Niederhauser's a little bit different, he's screen roll, pitch it to the rim, dunk it kind of guy. And he's a rim protector, so when you're turning those quick guys loose, it's nice to have a guy in there blocking shots.
Certainly is. I played with Mark Eaton.
Yeah. Well,
He said, "Yeah, I'm picking up your guy," as he drove by you.
Yeah. But when they're running and jumping in the backcourt and rotating and flying, looking for steals, and anticipating your next pass and getting deflections and let you go by them and then poke you from behind. Sometimes you're going to get to the rim. Well, if you can't finish there, you end up shooting all jumpers. The numbers say that you're better off.
Coach, they got Puff Johnson coming off the bench. He started a number of games a year ago when they were really guard-centric or guard-heavy. That's a luxury.
Well, he's a really good player now. I think he's hurt. He got hurt recently. Hurt his wrist. I don't know if he's going to play or not.
Oh, okay.
But he's a veteran guy, transfer from North Carolina, really good player.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the box score of the last game.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Before that, yeah.
So I don't know if he'll be cleared to play in this game or not.
Yeah, no doubt.
You mentioned Mike's system. What is Coach Rhodes' system? What do they like to do?
Well, it starts with their defensive mindset. Everything is predicated on that. But they run good stuff on offense. You know, obviously when you have a team with that kind of speed and quickness, it's going to be a lot of ball screens. So it's transition and ball screens, and they do a really good job, I think, moving the ball, sharing the ball.
Fran, in preparation to play a team like Penn State that is trapping, which you just talked about, how do you duplicate that in practice? Put 6 guys out there, 7 guys?
You know, our scout team is really good. You know, it's a very talented group, you know, because of who we have on it. But they'll lock in and do what we ask them to do. And, you know, we show it to them and go through it, and they'll simulate it. So they're out there flying around, running and jumping at the right time, riding you, bumping you, trying to get you ready for the physicality of it. And then also, of course, they know the plays. Like, we'll teach them, you know, we don't know every play that they run, but we
teach them on the fly,
know
too.
Some,
They pick them up.
And they'll execute it. Yeah.
Mark on Twitter, Coach, can you teach us about what is high ball screen defense, hard hedge versus drop, and what each attempts to stop? How do you determine which one you use in each game? Go Hawks. Thanks, Mark.
I'm not a big proponent of drop coverage. A lot of coaches play strictly drop coverage. That's when you don't come up on a ball screen. You just clog the lane up. The problem is if you have a really good scorer, he comes off that screen uncontested and shoots pull-up jumpers right in the lane. Sometimes can get all the way to the rim and draw everybody. But some coaches just play drop and stay in it. The problem with the hard hedge is you're susceptible to the roll, and now you have to tag the roll, which you want to do early, but then you're helping from the corners, which means you now have to close out if they skip it to the corner. So, you know, you sort of pick your poison. That's why teams run ball screen action on offense. And some teams will change the coverages throughout the course of the game. They start and they stay with it. But sometimes, you know, we'll flat shadow. Sometimes we'll trap it. So you're not given the same coverage all the time. Then there's teams that we call ice it. So now you're just jumping to the high side and keeping everything to one side of the floor. There are certain teams that play that way. And that makes more sense, as you can imagine, on the side. Mm-hmm. You know, so if you're on the side, you can jump up and get 5 defenders on one side of the floor. A little harder to ice when the ball's in the middle. And then you go, okay, well, how about if it's in the slot, you know, free throw line extended kind of thing. But, you know, teams that ice will ice there. It's the ones in the middle that give teams a problem.
With Chicago, they would ice all that. Scottie Pippen would jump on that high side. That's how they get Stockton. But Bill Cartwright was the key to that because he's on the backside of that. He's clapping or he's yelling where the help is. You really got to.
Well, you're right, Bobby, because if you're not in unison, you know, you're not connected. So Scotty jumps on a high side and Cartwright's late. You're giving up a layup. You're giving up a dunk in the NBA. So as long as they're all connected together, but then you also have, you know, goofy rules as far as you got to guard people closely. Like, you know, we can basically sit in a matchup. Well, you can play zone now in the pros. It's not quite like it was when you played. But as long as those guys are connected, you know, the only thing you're really susceptible to is the three, and that's why a lot of teams don't do it. You know, because if you get everybody to one side of the floor and you attack and you draw them even more, then you skip it, you're open for a three.
College three, a little bit shorter in the NBA too.
2 years ago, we beat Nebraska here. That's how they play. We made 16 threes. Now, if we made 5, you know, we lose by 12. We made 16, we won the game. But we were open.
You got to shoot it. If you're open, you give them free reign to shoot
exactly.
it. You got to have confidence and knock it down.
But let's, before we take a break, get Bjorn in here on Facebook. Would you like to see the men's game go to 4 quarters and the fouls to reset at the quarter like the women's game, or keep things status quo? Go Hawks. Thank you, Bjorn. This has come up before,
Yeah,
Fran.
it comes up a lot of times. I'm sort of indifferent towards it. And if we did it, okay. You know, we'll go with it. It is definitely a big difference because now you get the 5 fouls and you're shooting 2, right? There's no one-on-one. You know, a lot of strategy over the years has gone into the one-on-one. You know, try not to foul too much so they're in the double bonus. You know, make a one-on-one. All of a sudden you get 2 front-end misses and you come back. Make sure you have your free throw shooters out there if you're up. I don't know the advantages or disadvantages. I mean, I don't know what the analytics would say to that.
I like the way the men have.
You just get the
20-minute half.
It's just kind of different because, you know, the pros are quarters, women are quarters.
I like to advance the ball though. If you're on the rules committee.
Yeah, I think I'm actually surprised that rule hasn't been adopted. Yeah, you know,
take the timeout, advance it to half court.
Save your timeouts, be able to move the ball. The game's never over.
No,
it's just never over. Yeah,
yeah, that's an advantage. You get it half court, or
you can run a side OB.
Late in the game.
You can, you know, with
lob it up there.
With 0.4, you can win a game.
Exactly.
You know, it's hard to go length of the floor with 0.4. You know, we had 1.2 at Michigan this year when Price shot that shot out of the corner. You know, it's yeah, I mean, so I basically ducked the question. I don't really have it. I'm not emotional one way or the other on that.
All right. Sounds good. Bjorn, appreciate the question. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll give you a U.S. Bank scoreboard update live on Hawk Talk here with Coach McCaffrey from the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. We're sponsored tonight by Midwest One. Midwest One is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball, and Midwest One Bank is the proud partner of doers and entrepreneurs. Our teams are ready to help you reach your business goals. It's empowered money management. It's Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. We're back to the Hyatt in just a minute. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffery. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
When you live in the Midwest, you're accustomed to leading the nation in certain things, from corn and pork production to eggs and soybeans. And now we're adding another product to that list, clean, renewable wind energy. By investing in wind turbines and partnering with area farmers and landowners, Mid-American Energy is harvesting wind power that's homegrown right in our very own backyard, which not only provides customers with low, stable energy rates, but also the support to make our Midwest communities safer and stronger.
Hawk Talk coming to you live tonight from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the comfy and cozy and warm Hyatt Regency. Stay warm if you're out and about tonight listening in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. It's time for our Midwest One Stat of the Week as the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye Men's Basketball. Midwest One Bank is the proud partner of doers and entrepreneurs. Our teams are ready to help you reach your business goals. It's empowered money management. Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. We're going to focus on sophomore Seydou Traore for our Midwest One Stat of the Week. Seydou had a big night the other night against Minnesota, scoring 11 points. Had a season-best 6 rebounds against Minnesota in a season-high 26 minutes. It was his scoring total, highest scoring total in a Big Ten game this season, and that goes right back to his healthiness after that severely sprained ankle earlier this season. So it's good to see Seydou Traore becoming more of a factor on the floor for Hawkeye basketball. Right now, let's give you a U.S. Bank scoreboard update, courtesy of longtime Hawkeye supporter U.S. Bank. Among the ranked teams tonight, 24th ranked Memphis is up on Wichita State 59-51 with 27 seconds to go in that game. So it looks like Memphis, the Tigers, will prevail there. Illinois and Maryland, the lone men's game in Big Ten play tonight. They're just about ready to get going down in Champaign-Urbana at the State Farm Center. Maryland invading Champaign-Urbana with a 14-5 record. The Illini are 13-5. There was some women's basketball tonight in the Big Ten, and these are finals. Ohio State knocked off Maryland out in Columbus, 74-66. UCLA has defeated Rutgers. Top-ranked UCLA 84 and Rutgers 66 out in Piscataway. That's our U.S. Bank scoreboard update. Thanks to U.S. Bank for sponsoring all of our scoreboard updates throughout the year. Before we take a break, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. 10-second ID break here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from Learfield. Thanks to our flagship stations, WHO in Des Moines and WMT in Cedar Rapids, and the rest of you, 55 stations strong along the Hawkeye Radio Network, for bringing you Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey. We'll go back to our conversation with Fran in a minute. When we come back, talking about Iowa-Penn State tomorrow night. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off, 7 o'clock for the pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Back after this from Learfield.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Conference play is here, and you could be there in style with the Iowa Lottery. Play the new Nines in a Line scratch ticket for your chance to win cash, or see the Iowa women's basketball team take on UCLA in February. Enter any non-winning scratch ticket in the VIP club today for a chance to win exclusive seats with complimentary food and beverage service, parking, and $500 in spending money. Women's basketball, men's wrestling. It's your choice in the prize zone. Check out ialottery.com/VIP for details and play today.
Quinn Schulte, I play safety here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, and I get interceptions.
Rosmer to throw, has time.
Yes,
it's deflected. Yes. Intercepted again by Quinn Schulte. He's running the other way at the 40-yard line. Hawks have another turnover. We're going to slam the lid, hopefully, down. Here's an interception. That'll do it. And it's Quinn Schulte. And down there, the Hawkeyes will have first and goal.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
We're back at the Hyatt Regency in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Gary Dauphin, Bobby Hansen, and Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffrey. We're talking about the Hawks and Penn State and whatever you want to talk about on Twitter, on Facebook, on the U.S. Cellular text line, or on email at hawktalk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Let's go to Hawk Talk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com for Fran. Chris is in Atlantic. Coach, what are the responsibilities of your individual assistant coaches? Do they all specialize in one or more areas of expertise and leadership? They sure do.
You got it?
Yeah, we got you on now, Coach. Sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, the top three guys that have been with us the longest, you know, they do everything. So they recruit, they scout, they do skill development. They obviously contribute on the bench. They contribute in staff meetings. And they have a wealth of experience. When we hired, you know, that's obviously, you know, Sherman Dillard, Matt Gatens, Courtney Eldridge. So if it's your scout, you obviously have a lot more going on that particular week. But all of them are recruiting, so they're on the phones all the time, on the road all the time. We hired Tristan Spurlock as our skill development coach. Subsequent to his hiring, they allowed that position to now be also a recruiter. So he's now also recruiting.
Terrific.
Then we have Kyle Denning is our director of basketball operations. He does all the administrative stuff, and he's phenomenally well organized. Al Seibert, he's our chief of staff, so he does some administrative stuff. He does scheduling, you know, which is a very, very, very complicated job these days. But you know, they work camp. All those guys work camp, are involved in the planning and the process of camp. And then we have Lucas Pauly, who is, I mean, he's in charge of equipment, but he's also in charge of video. He's, you know, a computer guy, so, you know, gets all the games we need and edits that we need. He's brilliant. So we really got a, you know, great group of guys, great staff, very diverse in their backgrounds and what they bring to the table, but all incredibly talented.
And Coach, back to the three main assistants, if you will, who prepare those scouting reports. I know how much time they put into those things and how much, you know, they care about it. You know, and you know, if they're the guy that out there at practice, you're right there with them. But just talk about how much pride they take in their scouting reports.
Well, you know, if you have the next scout, you know, let's say they played 16 games, they'll watch all 16 games. So they'll know personnel inside and out. They'll get play calls. They'll do all the edits. So when we're showing edits, how are they going to play ball screens? Are they going to press? Are they going to press after a made free throw? their side out-of-bounds plays, their out-of-bounds plays under the basket. Do they play zone? Do they mix defenses? You know, their ball screen coverages. We just talked about that before. And then they'll take the scout team and they'll institute the entire system, which our guys, as you know, Bobby, you've seen it, they take great pride in it. So, okay, now we have to learn, Minnesota, what they do, and then we got to learn, Penn State, and then Indiana. And everybody's different. Every coach is different. Every coach has a different philosophy. Every coach does so many different things. And you're just trying to get the guys where they're comfortable with what we're going to face. But then the next phase is, this is not something a lot of people talk about. So you have a really good game plan prepared based on what they've done for 15, 18 games and what we've done for 15, 18 games and what our personnel looks like versus our personnel. Then sometimes the game starts and it doesn't go that way that you thought it would. So you have to then have a smart enough group to make in-game adjustments on the fly. And that might happen repeatedly throughout the course of the game. So in other words, we'll have a lot of things in. We plan on using some of it for this particular game more than other, and then all of a sudden you end up going to other stuff because of what's working and what wasn't working, or who's playing well, who's not playing well that particular night. And that's the challenge of it, as you know. You played the game at the highest level. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the reality of it.
You got to process it quickly.
Quickly.
Might have to make a change quarter break or halftime break. Well, that ain't working, so let's just give the ball to Michael.
Well, that helps. What if you don't have him?
Plan B.
That was my last team.
We can't trade for Giannis at halftime.
No, yeah.
You can't trade him. You can't waive him. These are good kids. I love them.
Absolutely.
They work hard. And you can go to your bench and see what you get coming off the bench, who's playing well, who can pick you up energy-wise, hitting threes, stealing the ball, helping you on the glass. I mean, any number of things. Be a lockdown defender that night. But, I still remember the game I always talk about is a game I coached in 2009 in the NCAA tournament. I was at Siena, and you find out on Sunday that you have Ohio State on Friday. And it was an 8-9 game. And we're in Ohio, and we had a great game plan. None of it worked. None of it.
Of course.
Zero. We changed everything on the fly, but I had a veteran group. We ended up coming back and winning in double overtime. And it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had as a coach with a group of guys that just never panicked. It's easy to panic because everything that we worked on for 5 days just blew up in our face. We're down 15. You snap your fingers, you're down 15. And it looks like it was going to be a laugher. Those guys just hung in there.
That's great.
And that's what being a competitor is.
That's the beauty of being a coach, too.
Yeah,
you enjoy that part of it, don't you?
I knew you beat him. I didn't know it all blew up in your face.
Well, I'll tell you what. It wasn't a fun first half. But the end was fine.
Where was it at, Fran? I remember watching. It was in Dayton. Okay.
It was in Dayton. Yeah,
wow,
so everybody in the building was in red.
Oh, yeah.
We had a few people in green, a few obnoxious New Yorkers.
There you go.
Imagine that. Coach, we talked about Seydou Traoré a little bit ago in our Midwest One Bank stat of the week. 11 points, season best, 6 rebounds. It's good to see him healthy out there running around. He's so effective at the point of your press.
He's a guy that can really impact the game in a lot of ways. He's still learning. You forget, he's a transfer, so everything's a veteran guy. He played 1 year at Manhattan. So everything for him is new. He's like a freshman. And he makes mistakes. But he's a guy that doesn't rattle. He just plays at his pace. You can't speed him up. He can handle it. He can pass it. He can score. He defends. He's got incredible length. I just think he's going to keep getting better.
No question.
And you let him play through some mistakes the other night.
And sometimes his mistakes are defensive, not for lack of effort, lack of execution based on game plan. He's done that a few times. but he's learning from it, and he's just a wonderful kid.
He's exciting to watch, too.
Yeah.
Take a final break here before we come back and wrap up this week's Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey from the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. This is Hawk Talk with Fran from Learfield.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
At US Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today? The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever. Oh my goodness.
Visit US Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
At MidAmerican Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
Thanks for joining us in our remaining moments here on Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. I'm Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen. We're live at the Hyatt Regency. We'll be here again next week, Monday night or Wednesday night. Oh, there we go. Next Wednesday, January 29th at 7 o'clock. That's right. The Hawks are at Ohio State Monday night, and then we'll be back here Wednesday with Hawk Talk on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Fran, back to trying to find my my question on recruits. Here we go. Brandon is on Twitter. Coach, with the new recruit committing and transferring in the middle of a season, do you prefer that, or would you rather have it stay how it was for many, many years? And before you answer that, Coach, I'm assuming he's talking about Isaiah Johnson Arrigu. Give us an update on Isaiah out of Minneapolis and Badari Diakite. I know the young man that verbally announced today, we can't talk about him. He's a heck of a player, but we can't talk about him until he actually signs on the dotted line. But give us the update on Diakite and Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah, so, Isaiah was somebody that we recruited out of high school very hard, visited here, came down to us in Miami. Went to Miami. As you remember, Jimmy Larinaga retired. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, you can go right into the portal, which he did. And he came here. And by the way, you could always transfer midseason. You're just not eligible, and you're still not eligible to play.
Jim just retired around the holidays.
Yeah, a lot of people will transfer midseason. Used to be, if you transferred midseason, you'd be eligible right after finals the following year. Now you're eligible.
That's right.
First game. So that's a different, part of the rule.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Badara is somebody that we signed early. Wonderful kid, 6'9", long, skilled, really good kid. Plays for Craig Carter, who was on my staff at 2 different places, UNC Greensboro and Siena. Both of those guys, I think, have the ability to help us right away, but also still have upside. Isaiah is about 6'6", 6'7", powerful, can score, can put it on the deck, can jump, really, really has tremendous athletic power. Badara is longer and leaner, but also has tremendous athletic power as well. So really excited about those guys.
Isaiah is from Minneapolis, by way, of course, of the University of Miami, and Badara is from Hartford, Connecticut, South Kent School. Coach, how many how many availabilities do you have for next year? Are you full now? Well, what are you looking at? What else?
We're not full yet, and also as a function, obviously Evan Braun's graduates, Peyton Sanford graduates. But, they're talking about giving everybody an extra year. They're talking about giving incoming freshmen 5 years. So you don't know, where that is going. It's just a strange time when it comes to eligibility. We thought it was over with the pandemic.
Yeah.
And getting that extra year. But we played against a guy the other night who was in his 8th year. And he graduated high school when Connor did. Parker Fox from Minnesota.
That's right.
Year 8.
8th year.
Year 8. So, I don't know. It's just a new world, Dolph. So they're asking us these questions, and we don't really have answers.
Just play the game.
So, red shirt, medical red shirt.
COVID.
I think he
That's
had.
7.
I think he had COVID and 2 injuries, 2 ACL tears.
Okay.
But that would still be 7. So my math is not working. Either's yours. Now, you worked in a bank, so I hope your math is better than mine.
I was looking at a roster. I don't remember what team we play. I don't even know what day it is. But that was his 4th school.
Oh, that's fairly frequent. 3 schools is the norm.
Yep.
4 schools is
4 was
frequent.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
To be continued, let us say.
Yeah.
Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffrey is sponsored by Summit Agricultural Group, committed to Iowa and adding value to Iowa products like corn, beef, hogs, ethanol. Go Hawks from Summit Agricultural Group. Bruce has a great history in developing new businesses from Summit Ag to add value for Iowa farmers and Iowa products. All right, Coach, let's go back to...
Well, let me interject something to go back. I didn't finish one part of the question. They're also talking about going to 15 scholarships. So that also would change how many scholarships you had left. Now, you don't have to use 15. My understanding
it's 13
is
now,
it's
right?
13 now. If it goes to 15, you get 15 scholarships. But if the settlement goes through and we go to revenue sharing, then whatever your number is, whatever the number is given to men's basketball, if you go to 15, those extra 2 scholarships come out of the pool of money.
Okay.
So you can stay at 13 and have more money to pay your other guys. So you really need like they have in the NBA, a salary capologist.
Capologist.
You got it. And we're laughing, but
no, you're right.
I think you have to have that.
Yeah. An Einstein or 2 on the staff.
Yeah.
Now,
Excel sheet.
If they come out of the pool, do you have to earmark them that year? I mean, can you bank them for next year?
I think it's year to year.
Okay.
I think it's year to year.
Okay. All right.
You can certainly be looking down the road with how you distribute things, but it's year to year.
Okay. Yeah. Andy is on the texted us on the U.S. Cellular text line. Thank you, Andy and Adele. I really like your sideline gear that you and your staff wear during games. Are any of those items available for sale to the general public? I'm an XL, by the way. Good luck against Penn State. All right, thanks, Andy. He's got a good sense of humor.
Well, I mentioned a minute ago when the one gentleman asked about our staff. Lucas Pauly's in charge of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one that orders that stuff, and it comes directly from Nike. So it's not like we're going to Shields or someplace like that.
Right.
You know, they may have some of that stuff from Nike because they sell a lot of Nike products. But the stuff we get comes directly from Nike, and he's really scours the options and you know, when we use the regular Tiger Hawk and the old Tiger Hawk and the IOWA and then the I1
Script Iowa.
Yeah, Script Iowa, and we have a
lot of options.
This year, instead of going suits and sneaks on for cancer awareness, Coaches versus Cancer Week, we're wearing quarter zips, and they're really nice.
They are,
and they have the Coaches versus Cancer logo on the sleeve, and on the right pocket area is the Iowa Children's Hospital logo. So, you know, I think a lot of people will be interested in those when they come out. But to answer the question, there's really nowhere to go to purchase them. You know, he orders enough for the staff, and that's it. Maybe he should, you know, open up a side gig, sell them out of his trunk.
We're not going to give his cell phone number out tonight, but Andy...
He'd probably make a few bucks, yeah.
Bobby, we got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, just Lucas Pauly, back to him. I mean, he takes great pride in that. I mean,
he does.
He's been around with you for a long time.
He does, and he does it in conjunction with, because we have a budget. You know how that, you know, and he does it very meticulously with how he spends the money that we have for the equipment that we need for the players and coaches. Obviously, players come first, but you know, especially now that we're not wearing suits anymore, which is a great thing. You know, we have to at least look like we know what we're doing.
You look a lot more comfortable.
It is so much more comfortable.
Unless you're Mick Cronin. Unless you're Mick.
Yeah, I told him he was way overdressed. I said, dude, you're the only guy I know that still wears a three-piece suit.
Well, he's in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
He came in wearing a warm-up, though, and sat and talked to Don McClain. Like, look at him.
Then he got changed.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I like the quarters.
He's a good friend. Mick's a good dude. Good dude.
Well, Coach, we're not even halfway through the Big Ten yet.
No.
A lot of basketball.
Got some work to do, and starts tomorrow.
Hey, good to see you.
Thanks guys.
Thanks for coming out. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tune in to the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa, Penn State. 7 o'clock for the pregame, 8 o'clock for the tip-off at Carver Hawkeye Arena. I'm Gary Dolphin. Thanks to Coach McCaffrey. Thanks to Bobby Hansen. Thanks to our engineer-producer, Corey Sheets. And thanks to the Hyatt Regency. Talk tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with a Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit midamericanenergy.com for electrical safety tips. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Midwest One. Small enough to care, big enough to deliver. Member FDIC. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. By your local Ford dealers. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.